Contact on the racetrack. The 59 car, Marcus Ambrose, has come into contact with the concrete and another car. Damage on the front of his Ford.
Let's get in here first time.
A couple cars up against the wall in 3 and 4. Marcus Ambrose, one of them.
Show you what happened. 66, Stephen Wallace, Bernie Lamar, the 37, and Ambrose, the 59.
And what happened, this was a perfect storm. Stephen Wallace is trying to get around the lap car, Bernie Lamar, and he gets down underneath him, and Marcus gets right behind Stephen, gets real loose, and almost a big wreck, and it looks like Marcus got the worst end of this deal.
Yeah, boy, they're lucky they didn't crash hard right there.
And boy, that reminded me of last weekend with the Braun teammates. As Stephen comes flying up the track right there trying to hold on to a loose car.
Marcus Ambrose definitely got the worst of that deal.
We told you Marcus loved this racetrack and had qualified so well here in his early young career, but he had never been able to get a break here and finish well. There's another prime example. And we almost had a chain reaction crash on the restart. Heavy gaggle of cars. The 99 car is trying to find his way and pick his way through that traffic. There is the 99 of Rudeman. He was almost one of the cars stacked up.
Oh, got one in the wall. This thing started out crazy on the restart and hadn't calmed down yet.
Travis Kittleson, the 56 in the wall, and then also Brad Coleman, the 27 car. And that will bring out yellow for the third time.
Bring it down.
On the restart. But let's show you what happened up in the turn there.
This is actually after the restart. See, right there is where he blew that tire.
Contact with a 9 car on the restart. There it was. You see the 9 car does a nice job of holding on. That's Chase Miller not spinning the car right in front of Wimmer.
Yeah, but Brad Coleman got some damage to that right front fender. That ended up cutting that right front tire, and that's what sent him in the wall.
It looks like...
Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. The 20 car Logano spins around and has contact with the outside concrete. The pole sitter, who had dominated the first 64 laps of this race, has had his troubles. Show you what happened a moment ago. Just watch the 20 car. There had been some frustration out there. He's right behind the 2 of Clint Boyer. And they get crowded. It's Busch, Biffle, and Logano together. Logano gets the worst end of the deal and spins around. Take your ride from on board the camera for Greg Biffle, taking a look at what happens.
And Jared, they just all start stacking up. And really, it started
behind him, still inside 38.
It started with the 9 car up front.
Still
He got really loose right there.
The black 20.
2 car checked up.
Now the 32's inside. Inside door slamming. Easy hustle. You made it. Nice job.
When you see a car getting sideways like the 9 car Chase Miller, 2 car checks up at Clint Boyer. It all starts happening there. Then all of a sudden, Biffle sees the little window there, and he goes for it. And it's like, oh, I'm out of room here.
4 wide, not going to work here at Nashville, and the 20 car gets the worst end of it, as they will have to come in and make repairs on the Toyota of Joey Logano. Back at Nashville Superspeedway, we are under caution yet again. This one for the 6th time around, and a tough break for another young driver, Cale Gale, in the 33 car. And Cale, watch what happens in the corner. The car just looks like it just goes up the track.
Yeah, it just got sideways, and then when he went to correct it, he overcorrected just a little bit and got in the wall pretty hard. Brad Daugherty called it. He said there was going to be another caution.
I don't think he knew it was going to be Cale Gale, though.
He didn't know which one, but he knew it was going to be one of them.
Cale's been doing such a great job all night long, and he qualified that car good, running good, and just stepped out on him. He just flat got loose, and that's all there was to it.
The bad break for Cale Gale becomes a huge break for Clint Boyer, David Strimmy, and David Rudeman. These guys who are going to be able to...
If we get a couple cautions here, we should be all right. But we'll see how it goes.
There's one of the cautions, Doc.
Over there.
That's what just as he said, if we get a couple of cautions, we get one here on lap 155.
This is really going to help him extend his, if he's going to make it with 75 laps.
Yeah, you see right here, he's in the middle of all these leaders.
And the leaders are just getting impatient. You know, they just don't want to mess around and get way in the back of the pack. And looks like Mike just got in the back of him just a little too much right there.
At this stage of the race, these guys on the lead lap are not going to have a lot of patience with these guys that are not on the lead lap.
Now,
Keep coming, spin behind us.
This is definitely the point of the race where tempers are starting to flare, and these guys are getting anxious.
Bliss in 8th spot, Mike Wallace in 9th, and Josh Wise, this car was right in between them.
Whoa! The 37 car, Bernie Lamar, spinning down the front straightaway.
Save that fuel, spinning down the front stretch. No contact. Keep coming, you're right.
And caution for the 8th time tonight. That was a real thick limb you were standing on there, Andy. You said it was going to be more caution flags.
Bernie just got loose. Just a classic case of getting loose up off the corners. Spun that baby around and didn't tear the front of the car up, which is good. When you tear that front end up, you're in big trouble.
Nice job by Stephen Wallace and Mike Bliss to get around him. Then watch Wallace 66. There's Bliss. He comes right across in front of Bliss, and neither one of them hit him.
Great driving right there. Mike Bliss especially.
Measures, no radios. I just sat there and watched the boy race. We had a blast.
Jerry, I tell you something pretty exciting. This Thursday night, Kenny and Tony Stewart, into the wall. Bobby Hamilton Jr. looks like he's got a right front tire down.
Bobby Hamilton Jr., and that will bring out caution again. Onboard camera, let's see if we can see what happened.
Oh, that
He had a little damage already on that right front. Could have been right here. Gets together with Landon Castle. That causes a little damage on that right front and ends up cutting it down.
Yeah, you can see Landon Castle's left rear, so got a lot of marks on it, so he definitely made contact, and just enough it might have knocked the valve stem out or cut it or whatever, but that thing was down in the middle of the straightaway. I don't think Bobby could even tell it was down because he was still wide open in the throttle.
Tough
Had a
race
good run going, too.
He sure did, and he really wanted to win badly here because of the fact that his home is not far from the racetrack. Wanted to win to honor the memory of his dad who won here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and has finished 2nd, 3rd, and 5th, but never won here in the NASCAR Nationwide car.